Hi guys, welcome back to Dave's Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about a movie that's in the theaters right now called It Comes at Night. This film was written and directed by Trey Edward Shults. It is his second feature film, and it stars Joel Edgerton, Christopher Abbott, and Carmen Ejogo. And the film, its plot involves a family helmed by Joel Edgerton's character. They live in a cabin out, and it's kind of a larger cabin, but it's a pretty big home out in the middle of the woods. There is an unseen threat that's sort of overtaken the world, or at least wherever they are living, that has caused them to board up the house, so they have no contact with the outside world, or very minimal contact. And one of Joel Edgerton's character's rules is that you don't go out at night. And he has the doors that are locked and all this stuff. And they have a family dog who's with them. And so that means for I don't know how many years or months they were living this way, but they have protected themselves. And as long as they follow their rules, everything is good. Trouble comes into play when Joel Edgerton comes across another guy that's out in the woods. And the guy, he brings the guy into the home after interrogating him and making sure that he isn't whatever is out there in the woods, one of those things. And so he brings him into the house, and they get to talking. And the other character, he says to Joel Edgerton, he says that he has a family that's out some way away, a wife and a son, and he wants, they need their help, and that's why he was out in the woods. But he was looking for water and supplies. And so they talk a bit, and Joel Edgerton is really on edge with this guy, but he decides, he has a family, that he will go with him to bring his family back. So they go and they bring his family back. They were sort of accosted by some guys out in the woods that they had to deal with in the meantime, but they were able to successfully get there and bring his family back. And that's where things start turning south for all the characters involved. I'm not going to go into the rest of the storyline because I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but needless to say, It Comes at Night it has turned out to be one of my least favorite films in modern memory, and there's a few reasons for it. The first is that you never ever find out what comes at night. I mean, what is it? Is it a flu that has taken over the world? Are people turning into zombies? You never know. The trailer for the movie makes the movie out to be some kind of a horror movie, that something is trying to get into their house and it's coming at night and everybody has to protect themselves against it, and that's not the case in this movie. The trailer is totally unlike the movie in every single way. Even the marketing, even the posters that are out for the movie, there's one of a dog that's staring off into the woods. What's he looking at? Well, don't think about it, because you never find out. Plus, another thing I didn't like was this movie was filled with dream sequences. All the horrific events that happen in the movie are dream sequences. And you're thinking something as good's going to happen, and then the character wakes up and you realize, oh, it was just in his head, it was just a dream sequence. And then life goes on. And the movie really goes nowhere. You don't know. The movie starts here. It puts you right in the middle of this family's life. You don't know what caused them to board up their house and to lay low and to protect themselves. You don't know what's hanging around, waiting in the woods. Yeah, and the worst thing of all is that the director and the writer, Trey Edward Shults, said he purposefully made the movie that way. He purposefully didn't, describe or mention what was in the wood, what was the threat that everybody was so worried about. And that's, I think that's lazy. I think that's lazy filmmaking, because there has to be some kind of payoff, and there is no payoff whatsoever in this movie. The acting is okay. Some of the characters are a little irritating. At least they grated on my nerves. Some of the characters that other reviewers loved, I couldn't stand. But that's the thing about movies. But this movie, as far as marketing, genius. As far as the actual movie, blah. So It Comes at Night is is characterized as a horror / mystery movie, and you can take a lot of the horror away. In fact, you can take all of the horror away and just call it a mystery. And it's a mystery that you'll never find the answer to. So if you're happy with that kind of a movie, please go watch it. If you like your movies with some kind of a plot, some kind of a resolution, some kind of an explanation, go ahead and stay away from this movie. Movies are supposed to have a beginning, a middle, and the end, and this one doesn't have really a beginning. It doesn't. The whole movie is the middle. There's no beginning and there's no end. So, and I really dislike this movie, as you can probably tell, and I give It Comes at Night a 1 out of 5. I'd give it a 0 out of 5, but you have to give them a 1 for the effort that they put into it. At least the actors, because the writer, this thing's a crap fest. So, there you go. That's what I got for you this time, and hopefully the next movie I watch isn't quite as lousy. So until next time, see you later, and thanks for watching.